Hey, how you doing? Dave Fennoy here. Another Wednesday, another Ask Dave Fennoy Anything. And of course, it must be 6 p.m. Yeah, absolutely. So, how's everybody doing? Glad you're here. And I hope you have some questions because it's just you and me today. And when I do that, I get a chance to say hello to a few people. Todd Weekly, what's going on, man? Good evening, Dave. Hope you're well. I am. Thank you very much. And, I'm going to have to start getting a prize for the first person to give a comment. Sorry, Todd, I don't have the prize yet, but you gave me the idea. So maybe next week we'll be doing that. Sean Burton, what's going on, man? Sean Burton, hello, Dave. Hope all is going great. It is. Um, and I want you to start getting your thoughts and your questions together. It's just me and that thing that you were thinking about earlier today or yesterday, and now you forgot. Try to remember. Try to remember. A few more hellos. Rhonda Clark, how are you? Good to see you. And who do we have here? Sarah Tyndall. Sarah, you are such a treasure. Not only do you come and watch Ask Dave Fennoy every week, but you are watching a lot of the podcasts and broadcasts of voiceover people who have something to share, and then you share what you learned, and that's part of the best thing we can do in this voiceover community. And Theodore Mezzacapo, you're going to be a star today, Theo. Um, Theo has been a student of mine for a while, and I just finished his video game demo. So we're going to listen to that in just a little bit. Hold your horses. We'll get there. We'll get there. Couple of things. Just personally, I just came back from Cleveland, Ohio. Why in the world would I go to Cleveland, Ohio? Because that's where I was born and raised, and it was my high school reunion. And I just can't bring you to say which high school reunion it was, but it was definitely significant. And I haven't been back to Cleveland since a year after I graduated from high school. So it was interesting to go. When I was there, it was a boys' school, Hawkins School for Boys. Now it is a co-ed school, very good school. Uh, and one of the things I like about them, although I was one of the first black students to go to this school, now they're doing very well uh, with populating the school with a variety of people from all strata. And when I say all strata, I mean from fairly poor to very, very rich. About 40% of the classmates there are on some kind of scholarship, and they very much believe in uh, what they call master training, which means you want to learn everything, but sometimes you have other students who have learned that to help you learn that, which helps them maintain it and get it stronger and helps you. And you don't have to be on a time frame. It's very, very progressive and still getting people into some of the very best colleges in the country. Let's see, Sarah, you got a long note here. I had a question. How often have you gone to the studio for game character work or multiple characters and never seen the script? Ha ha ha. Is that just normal or super secret big games? No, that's very normal. Very good question. I had 2 sessions today for video games, and neither one of them had I seen the script. So this is generally what happens. Every now and then they'll send you a script a day or two in advance. Uh, Myself, I generally only get a chance to peruse it a little bit. I generally don't get a chance to read the whole thing because I'm kind of busy and kind of used to the idea that, oh, when I get there, I'll do it. What you have to be is in character. Once you're in character, you can stumble through a couple lines the first time or two and make some mistakes, but you'll get it. And for my students, I'd rather you stay in character and make a couple mistakes that you're going to fix rather than, oh, I'm going for perfection of saying the words and, then losing being the character. Garrett Davis. Dave, are there different versions of the Sennheiser 416? And if you don't want to pay the cost of a new one, what's the best source to find a used one? There is an older version of a 416 that required a power source, but they're not making those anymore. And if you can find one of those, you probably don't want to run it as a power source where you have to change the batteries every now and then. You'd probably want to, there's a place where they will upgrade them so they can use the 48 phantom power. Sometimes they go on sale. I have more than one because they went on sale at one point for $600. I think it was at Sweetwater, but I'm not quite sure. I thought it was going to be an every year sale, but I haven't seen it since. But they are to be had for about $900 every day. So good luck with that. Linda, hello from France. Bonjour, ça va? Ah, ça c'est bon. Thank you very much, Linda. Are you having truffles or foie gras or something very French? The bread there and the butter. Let's see. Amanda Brad 416, I think, has unlimited warranty. It just might. They are a workhorse. Of the two I have one that I've had for more than 20 years. And I still use it, and I've never had to have it repaired or looked at or anything. It just, it's like that battery that takes a licking and keeps on ticking. Todd, I had a chance to mentor a game streamer who got a chance to voice their own avatar in a game distributed by Sega. They really enjoyed their sessions and apparently went quite well regarding experience to pass on what I've learned. Coolness. Okay, couple things. Reminder, these things, these Ask Dave Fennoy's Anything, live on my YouTube channel, Dave Fennoy Voiceover Training, as will this one after tonight. If you're somebody that is interested in voiceover lessons or you want to keep track of where I'm teaching, visit davefennoy.com, sign up. I promise I will not, fill up your mailbox with information, but you'll get a few reminders from me. Like the reminder that for the next 3 weeks, starting tomorrow night, I'll be teaching for Voice Tracks San Francisco, which is in fact where I got my voiceover lessons that got me down here into LA, these 30-something years ago. But I'll be teaching a course on self-directing, which we all need now because unlike back in the day when you went to your agents and you went in the booth there and there was a booth director that kind of gave you guidance, now we're all at home and we have to do that read and then we have to step out of ourselves and judge that read. Is this good or is this not good? And all too often we're using the wrong criteria for that. But I'm going to be doing that for the next 3 weeks and not any more openings, but just to give you an idea that some of the kinds of things I do. And a hello to Catherine Toll. Hi, Dave. Looking forward to engineering class for okay. I couldn't have planned that better, Catherine, because I just talked about it and there you are. How about that? Another question from Sean. What was your personal first step into putting yourself out there on social media to grow your voiceover career? Thanks, Dave. I'm going to tell you, it took a little dip in my career. 2008, when the economy crashed, my 2 biggest clients went out of business or pulled. One went bankrupt and one just stopped producing shows. Time Life Music, for which I was doing a bunch of their R&B collections and gospel music collections, and Showtime at the Apollo. I was the booth announcer for that came on every week. And between the 2 of them, it was like having 2 jobs that paid you nicely every week, and then everything else. Well, the economy crashed. One went bankrupt, and the other stopped producing the show. and that was about half my income. And it was a little bit of a tough time, like a lot of Americans. I was a little overextended. Had put a kid through school and so forth and so on, and um, it was then that I realized that yes, that was one of my dogs going by. It was then that I realized that I could complain about the economy that brought us to this point and brought me to the point where I was, that it was difficult to make ends meet, or I could do something about it. And up until that point, I had not been doing a lot of social media. And I sat down with some people who taught me about social media, gave me some ideas of what to do. And that's when I started getting on Facebook and LinkedIn and Twitter and so forth. Um, I also started looking for new business again over and above what my agent was sending me in the way of auditions. And I said that to a student I was talking to today. Always be looking for new business. Whatever it is that you've got now, if you've got some long-term client that you love, one day that relationship is going to be over. Every gig that you've got, somebody had before you, somebody will have after you. So always be looking for new business. Um, and always be looking for that repeat business, the relationships that you can put together, uh, that they come back week after week or month after month or several times a year. Nothing like that. Um, okay, one more question, and oh, no, well, get some questions here. I'm going to talk about um, somebody that I was talking to earlier today. A student was asking me about demos. I don't do a lot of demos, but I do video game demos. I like best to have been working with you before I do them, or at least audition you. Find out if you have the chops to do a demo. Otherwise, it's hey, let's take some classes. Let's take some coaching sessions to get you to the point where you can do a demo. I happened to mention to her that from time to time you'll have somebody that, for whatever reason, you've started the process and they have to end it. It could be money. It could be they decided to go with somebody else. Great. I don't care. I don't do them for the money. Oh, you're going to pay me. But that's not really a business for me. I do like to do it, but I'm a working actor. I did 2 video games today. Uh, so I'm already pretty busy. But I have a student that I've been working with for some time now, Theo Mezzacapo. And I just finished his demo. And let me tell you how I do demos. I like to work with you, and I want to find out who you are. What does your voice lend itself to? And I want to find scripts that work for you. I'm not trying to make you into something that you're not. And Theo's from New Jersey. Uh, Big, deep, rich, gravelly, interesting voice. Um, for for a commercial demo, I'd be looking at, hey, this is the working man's working man. But we had a lot of range to go with his video game demo. Had a lot of fun, and generally what I do is we'll find and create a number of scripts, more than we need. I have found from time to time that when you're putting together a demo, if you limit yourself to, well, I need 10 scripts for this, and that's going to get me where I need to go, and they only need to be this long. You may find that 1 or 2 of those scripts, for some reason, didn't work out quite the way you wanted it to. So I like to go in with more than I need and then cut it down from there. But I think Theo's on the line, and I sent him the link, and we can talk a little bit about it after the fact. As a matter of fact, Theo, if you want to click in now. If you're there, Theo, you can click in now. And I'll bring you on, but we are going to hear your demo. Let's see, I made you a whole special page here. And here it is. All right, this is Theo Mezzacapo's demo. Oh, there he is too. All right, Theo, I got you there, and you've been assigned. Just hang on and listen for a minute. Here we go.
The world we used to know is gone, and it ain't coming back anytime soon. And sure, there's things I miss. Hell, I'd love a pizza and a cold beer right about now. But some stuff, not so much. I was here before the universe was born. But come, hero, challenge me and fail. Just like all the others. Damn. Only one thing big enough to make tracks like this. All right, everybody. Stick together, keep the noise down, and check your ammo.
My sensors have located the target. It is extremely large and moving rapidly in our direction.
Okay, don't get me wrong. I like being a part of something greater than myself. But come on, how come I gotta be this guy's backside? We, the unrelenting ones, have come. Remember when you dissected insects in school? We remember too. I don't remember much, Doc. Crashed my truck on some kind of chemical. Got drenched in that stuff, and let me tell you, it smelled like hell. And there's that smell again. That's making me feel. Listen, I got it. Look at them, dead. Respect their silence. Don't fill it with words. Words are the malware that eats at us. A poor rope for the truth. People just see me as some kind of big, dumb, lumbering brute. But the truth is, all I really want to do is dance. Hit it! Ha! Shake it but don't break it. Watch me work, yeah. Shaking my meat to the beat. I move good for a big guy, huh?
And that's Theo's demo, and I like it. He likes it, and let's see. I think I've got you. Oh no, that's the wrong thing. No. There he is, Theo Mezzacapo. Good work, Theo.
Hello, sir. How are you?
I'm doing great. You need better light in that booth, though.
Well, it's not a booth. It's just a little divider I put up. It's very fancy.
Okay. Now
it's just a little divider right there.
Cool. Now, Theo, tell me, how did you like the process of putting your demo together?
Well, for me, it was really just because I love, all the characters. Working with me, how much I loved doing different characters, and it just kind of like putting myself in those mind frames and putting it all together and just kind of working, how am I going to do it, physically and what is the character's mentality, all that. It's very exciting to me.
Okay.
The whole process is, I love it.
Okay.
I love it so much.
Now, and I'm gonna tell people, you do a lot of crazy, wild character voices. We didn't try to feature them all on the demo, although, we stretched out a little bit. And the reason that I told you, and I would tell everybody, be careful of putting too much variety on.
Yeah.
Because you want people to get your signature voice. You want them to hire you for you, and let them see that you can do some things, but let that be a surprise, because I promise you, whenever you're working in a video game, if you're a major character, they're going to have 2 or 3 other characters they want you to play.
And I love it. Give them to me.
I was working on a game today, and they had a character that was part bird of some kind, and they said, "Well, we have no idea what we want for this," and it gave me an opportunity to come up with a completely crazy, wacky voice that probably people wouldn't expect out of me, and I sure had a good time. And no, I'm not going to do it here.
Yeah, well, the one character in particular, is one that you gave to me when we first. It was actually, I think it was around the first time we started working with each other. It was the character you gave to me, and I kind of fell in love with it because it was the character is very pretentious, foolish, kind of warrior, but he's thinks he's a lot more intelligent
He's
than
an
he really
idiot.
is. He's an idiot.
Yeah, that's the one thing I didn't put on. So that's your one complaint. I didn't get that one on there.
That was
I just wanted him to be on there, Dave, just one time.
Well, I might do another mix for you and let
I'd
that
love
one
that.
get. But while you're here, I'm not going to
Yes,
keep you
sir.
long. Anybody got a question for Theo? And while you're doing that, let me look and see what other Linda Baker. What if my commercial demo is too old, like 3 years? Should I use any of it or start over? Am I just now starting to audition? 3 years is not necessarily too old. What I would do is freshen it up. One of the things you can do is if you have some recent work, you can cut that into some places. Maybe some of the recent stuff towards the front. That is one way. As a matter of fact, if you're working a lot and you just want to freshen that demo, you're doing a lot of commercials, you're working a lot, just use pieces of that of those commercials that you've done. 3 years, I wouldn't say you have to upgrade them every 3 years. Maybe a couple more years, definitely. Let's see. Todd Weekly, I think the reverb is on Facebook Live. Oh, Artifact. Yeah, I think that's. See, you know what? I'm not hearing the reverb. It sounded great to me. Good to hear. Not too much variety. I thought that was wanted. Well, there's variety and there's variety. I have heard demos that the person is trying to do several accents, several different voices, and what you come away with was. You might say, oh, whoever this is talented, but I don't have a sense of who they are. The saying their name doesn't invoke their voice. I like to think of it like our favorite character actors. We see them on screen, and there's something about them that we get an emotional reaction to. It's something about the way they speak, the sound of their voice, the cadence. And their look on camera that says, oh, I want that guy or that woman. And if you've got too much on there that doesn't allow you to get a sense of what is uniquely special about you, you're asking not to be remembered.
That was the thing you had to stress to me for so long, is that because I always want to do different voices, especially like when I get something, I'm like, okay,
What can we do with this one?
and but then you had to rein that in, and at first I was like, well, I want to have more stuff, but as time went on, I was like, you're completely correct, because if they hear a bunch of voices, they're going to be like, well, who's who? Who is this guy? It could be a bunch of different people on here,
Yeah. Well, listen, I'm gonna let you go and get on with some of these other people, but
Thank you, sir.
I want to
I
applaud
really appreciate
you
it, Dave.
for your hard
Really.
work. I like your demo. I always want to like them, and we had to send it back. That wasn't me. That was my production crew. Paid no attention to some of my notes. I sent back a few of the pieces and said, "Oh no, that's not right. You got to do that right," because I want it to be right. And by the way,
I love it.
what you get when I do them, and I'm not saying this to drum up business, but you get the demo, the compilation demo, but I give you all the pieces produced so that you can put them on your website and drive people to that.
Which is something that I need to do immediately.
Yes, you need to do that immediately. Theo,
Yes,
thank you
sir.
so much, man.
Thank you very much, Dave. Really, like, I mean it when I say, like, I wouldn't, I have a long way to go, but I've come a long way too, and I wouldn't have come that way if it wasn't for you, man. It wouldn't. It's just the truth, I'm so appreciative of being able to work with you.
Oh,
Be
thank
your
you.
student.
The check's in the mail.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
All right. Talk to you
All
soon.
right, Dave. Thank you so much.
Theo Mezzacapo, and been working with him for a while. And, one of the things uh, that you have to get when you're working with somebody is somebody that wants to meet you where you are and wants to help you be the best that you are as you, not somebody else. All right, let's see. Jordan Tartakal. Do you know if there's any growing shift in the business towards visual animated game demos with the vocal track? Um, that is an interesting question. Now, my demos are visual because my demos, get rid of this sweater, it's a little warm now. My demos are pulled from the actual video games. Uh, so for me and for other people who have been working for a long time, you're going to find that because we're just pulling characters that we've played from various video games and putting it together as a video. In terms of putting your game demo together with video, um, I think it would be prohibitive financially. Now, the one thing that you might do that I've seen with some commercial demos is they'll use some video or pictures of things that they can put in that, you're not worried about lip flap. So you might do something where you have a character and you have that you're hearing, and maybe you have a picture of a character that's similar. Uh, that you can use a little effect there. It's pulling in the Ken Burns effect or moving across into the next character. You could do something like that. Uh, but my question would be, why are you asking that? Most people on their first demo or the first couple of demos, it's going to be audio. And yeah, I get that maybe you're trying to, let me get a little edge here and make it video. Um, okay, not necessarily a bad idea, but make sure that it's really good. Make sure that it's audio wise, that it's selling you that you are the star of that demo. Not the effects, although I had some effects in there, but his voice is the star of that demo. All right. Let's see. Amanda Brandt. Dave, on your demos, do you give out assets such as the music and sound effects? I do not. I don't give the assets. I do give the individual clips produced. I have a production team that I work with, and just don't do it like that. But you had another question. Some demo companies have a limited use contract that states the sound effects music that can only be used in your studio. Well, I know that. You know what? Thank you for bringing that up. I would never produce a demo that had those parameters. Your demo has to live its life wherever it's being sent and for whoever. Hopefully that demo gets you enough work that within a year or two it can be replaced with actual work. But no, that's not a good idea. Sean Burton, hey Dave, I asked you this personally a while back, but what's the best way to send a demo sample for review to you? Email. Now, I promise you, I will listen to it. I can't promise you exactly when. And I'm pretty busy. I'm doing a lot of things. I will get back to you, but I can't promise it'll be within a day or two of receiving it. And if a couple of weeks have gone by, I do not mind you reminding me. And that brings me to another thing. When you want something from somebody, be persistent. Ask. Be sweet about it. Don't be a jerk. Uh, but people are busy; they're living their lives. We don't always remember everything. If somebody hasn't gotten back to you, it's probably not about, oh, I'm not getting back to this person because I don't like this person, or I think less of them, or this or that or the other. Uh, don't put in your mind that there's this negative thing. That person that you're trying to get to probably is doing a lot of things. Nice reminder. When you're trying to get an agent and you've sent that demo and you haven't heard back in a week or two. Well, guess what? You're not going to hear back in a week or two because they don't listen every day to demos that are coming in. And they're much more likely to listen to that demo that's coming in if it comes uh, either from somebody like myself or somebody that you've worked with, another coach who says, "Hey, you should listen to this," or on your cover letter, Dave Fennoy, or insert coach here. I've been working with, and they suggested I send this demo to you. You're going to get it heard a little bit sooner then, but they're busy people, and sometimes it might be a month or two. And if you get a response and it's no, thank them. And because oftentimes, if they're not going to call you, they'll never call you. Not to say that we're not going to use you. So if you get a response, they thought enough of you to respond. Lenny Harrison, sorry I'm late to the party, and I don't know if this was asked. Can I work? Can I work with you to create a character demo? Now, do you think he's being serious? I think he's being serious. I'm going to assume he is. Yeah. No, if I'm working with somebody with a demo, the first thing I want to know that they're ready. The demo we heard with Theo, he didn't come to me, "Hey, I want to do a demo." He came to me, "Hey, I want to take voiceover coaching sessions so I can learn how to do this." And we worked at least a year now before we produced that demo. Um, for some people, might take longer. Some people might take less. Some people may be ready to go right now, but I don't know that when we first get in touch with one another. There has to be some kind of assessment to know whether I want to put my name on your demo, whether I think you're ready to do a demo. Now, could I do a great demo for you and you're not ready? Sure. A lot of people can. It's going to hurt you more in the long run to do it that way. Why? Because you send it to an agent, they think, "Oh man, this guy's great, this girl's great." In you go, and what do? They hand you some scripts. You have to be as good as your demo right there, sitting at the table with all the agents looking at you. Or you get hired on something, and in you go, and you've got to be as good as that demo on that job right now. So don't do your demo when you're not ready. Take your time. Take your time. Um, oh yeah, I've been in VO for over 15 years. I wish time alone was the factor that says you're ready or not ready. And I'm not saying this to say you're not. Um, but time in and of itself, what have you been doing for 15 years? How many jobs have you worked? Have you been working on video games or animation? What kind of acting chops do you have? I know people who've been in voiceover for a long time and have had and are having successful careers. They're not ready for every genre. Say if you're doing TV promos and you've done it for a lifetime, you're going to need some adjustment. You're going to need to learn some things to jump into video games. Uh, they are different animals. Now, maybe you've been doing stage on the side, and you do have it. But chances are, if your bread and butter has been promos or narration, you might need some coaching sessions to get you in the right frame of mind, to get you uh, with the right techniques for a different voiceover animal than what you've been doing. Let's see. And Linda Baker, very important to be ready for demo. Takes work and patience. Thank you for the cosign, Linda. Much appreciated. Amanda Brandt, again, is there a difference between East Coast video game demo and a West Coast demo? That's a very good question. I have discovered that there are differences between uh, demos, say in Seattle and Los Angeles. Um, there may be some differences between New York and LA, but I would wonder how many game demos are being done in New York. Um, we pretty much are doing most of the video game work that's happening in the United States. You're going to find it in places where there's high tech. New York isn't really known for video games, narration, TV promos, commercials, yes. Chicago, commercials, and some narration, yes. Uh, San Francisco, commercials, some video games, some toys, yes. Seattle, some video games, some commercials, a few other things, yes. Um, but New York, I don't think New York is a really good market uh, for voice actors in video games. Can that change? Wouldn't be surprised. You got a lot of really good actors in New York because of theater and TV and movies. And the world technologically has changed. I think the pandemic is going to make it much more viable for people to live anywhere and work doing any aspect of voiceover from any place. Um, 10 years ago, I would have said, oh no, you got to live in LA if you really want a serious career in video games. I wouldn't say that now. The internet, the pandemic, Zoom, the number of people with home studios and the quality of microphones and interfaces, and the number of booths and sound treated houses nowadays. Ultimately, I think you're going to be able to work from anywhere. So I answered that question and more. Theo, you're back. Thank you, Todd. I definitely prefer creatures and monster characters. Oh, that was a conversation between you and somebody else. I am so sorry. Amanda say, I asked because someone told me there is a more overproduced sound for West Coast and East Coast is more subdued. That may be. That may be. I like to, one, have production on there, but still let the voice be the center of that. The production underneath is just kind of to give you some of that feel. Be careful. There are producers of video game demos and other demos that will bury you in effects and music and changes to your voice that you haven't done. Theo does all the changes to his voice himself. Uh, very little of that was processed. He manages to be able to go from regular voice into something like this and back and forth and with ease. There's kind of a movement in video games now to get good actors. One of the things they're doing is trying to get celebrities. But the other thing is to make sure that you can actually act. My buddy Mark S. Dale, director in London, would prefer demos with no music, no production. Why? Because so many people have produced demos that had too much music, too much production, and the actor wasn't good enough. It sounded great because everything was produced and it had been spliced and diced. Take 1, take 3, take 10, take 20, and but the actor could not perform, and they get fooled. So people in casting, agents are tired of that. So let your demo, I still believe in some production underneath, but show them you're an actor. All right. Jordan Tartakow, are they mostly used to getting representation or do they find that casting is looking for them too? Both. We're living in a do-it-yourself world now. I'm a big proponent of the union, but a lot of work is not union. And if you're going to be marketing yourself, and I think you should because that's the world we're living in now, you want a good demo and a good website and drive people to that website. So not only are you looking for representation, but you're looking for opportunity. I would suggest getting started in this, and video games is one of the things you want to do. Uh, you should get on LinkedIn. Get that list of casting directors for video games. Get those directors for video games, or video game directors. Maybe they're not associated with a particular company. Uh, Start getting that list. Do your research on these game companies, the games that they have developed, uh, and send them your demo with a nice brief letter that lets them know you know who they are and what they've done and appreciate their work, and that you are available uh, for when they need you. Uh, that works. Don't ask for a job. Don't just say, "Hi, I'm so and so. I'm a voice actor, and I'd like to be on some of your video games." That's not going to move a needle anywhere. You want to let people know that you actually have an idea about who they are and what they do. Uh, that, and then offer your services. That will start opening some doors for you. Oh, let's see. Oh, Theo, you could have said this while you were here. That's why I took my time before I even asked to do the demo, because I didn't feel ready. But I also knew you have to fine tune the instrument before stepping on stage. Still have much to improve and learn. Uh, but you know what? There is a jumping off point. Uh, for your first demo, you're not going to be where you're going to be later on. But there's a point where you've worked and worked and worked and worked. Oh, and now I'm at the point to do that first demo. I promise you, you'll love that first demo 6 months or a year, especially if you start working right away. There's something about actually doing the work that just improves you. I think it has to do with, oh, I've been accepted now. I'm in this. I'm swimming in these waters. Um, Sometimes before you've really started, you're kind of, oh, gee, am I really okay for this? Can I do this? Um, a year from now, there'll be some acting beats in that demo that he's going to go, you know what? I can do that better. Tell you the truth, I hear stuff that I do now, and I go, why did they use that take? I could have done that better. No, I had a better take in there. I know I had a better take in there. We're actors. We're never satisfied with ourselves. Oh, that was that. I asked because I've. Oh yeah, I asked because I have reps and I've worked in games, but I have been booking from auditions. Well, you're still going to book from auditions, but one of the things you want to do is have a good demo so that you can get a rep who will send you auditions. And yes, as I mentioned before, getting that demo done and sending it to game companies and the right people in game companies can also get you booked and auditions. Let's see. Valencia, State, and Dobson. Should the same kind of tactic be done for e-learning? Absolutely. Whatever the genre of voiceover, find out who the people are who produce that kind of that genre of voiceover, um, who directs that genre of voiceover, who hires, who are the casting people for that kind of voiceover, and get to them and send them your demo and create a dialogue. You'd be surprised. Salesmen will tell you, let's see, for every 100 calls I make, I get 3 positive things that happen. For depending on how many auditions you do and the level of your talent, uh, that's how many bookings you're going to get. If you're only auditioning for 10 things a week, and you're only going to get say 5%, well, gee, you got to audition for 2 weeks to get your 5%. But if you're auditioning 100 times a week, you're going to do better. So I've said this before, our real job is to audition. Once we're on the job, for me at least, it's fun. I'm having a good time. But the real job, the work, is getting work. And part of that is your audition. Part of it is getting yourself in position to audition by having the right demo. Amanda, again, I live in a right to work state. What that really means is a right to pay you less state, which from what I've heard is a loophole that allows you not to have to join a union. I have no idea how it works, LOL. Can you shed some light on the topic? Well, thank you for bringing that up. first of all, I'm going to say right to work states, it's a misnomer. It's the right to pay you less state. They can still fire you if you try to form a union or join a union uh, in that company. It's not on your side. It really is a right to pay you less state. Um, Now, unions offer a number of things, and once again, we're fighting an uphill battle in America for the last 50 years on unions. People fought and died to get the right to bargain collectively and get a better wage and benefits. Um, People say I don't have to join a union. Oh, I have the right that I don't have to join the union. What That's the way that's a particular way of saying it that makes it sound like they're helping you. Oh, now I don't have to pay those union dues. Um, the truth of the matter is, you'd make so much more money with the union than you would without the union. The union dues are minuscule compared. Um, SAG after our dues are based on what we make every year. I pay a lot of dues. Uh, but I also have a pension. I also have health care. I also have somebody that guarantees that if I've done a job and they haven't paid me, somebody will go after them and get my money, and also a fee, a late fee. Um, there are just too many good reasons uh, to join unions, to be in a union. Uh, and don't believe the right to work BS. It's the right to pay you less. It's the right not to let you have insurance. It's the right to give you only so many hours that they don't have to. If you do have to have health insurance at a certain number of hours, they have the right to work you, if it's 40 hours, 39. So they don't have to give you insurance. If you can get in a union, get in a union. It's going to be better for you. Linda Baker, should we have our websites up and running before reaching out with a demo? Yes, is website that next step right away. You know, these days, if you don't have a website, you don't exist. And it's not that expensive to put a website together. There are lots of people that can do it for you, and you can do it yourself. There's a whole company, I forget the name of them. Hey, Clementine. Hey, Sultan. There's a whole company that specializes in websites for voiceover. They're not who I use, but I've seen them do a lot of very good websites. But yes, you need a website, and you need it to be simple and effective. They need to be able to get to your website, have a feeling of who you are from your website, be able to push a button and play your demos, be able to click, and there's your contact information. Make it easy. I read a book when I was doing my website, said, "Don't make me think." Everybody's busy now. Think about the number of times you're scrolling through something. Oh, here's a video about something I'm interested. Oh, it's 3 minutes long. I don't have enough time for that. Our attention spans are very short. So make it easy on them. Make it easy on them. With so many companies looking for non-union talent for commercials and video games, do you know if SAG is working to shift those jobs to union jobs? Yeah, there is an effort in place. Fingers crossed that it becomes more and more successful. Amanda, you asked a question about what's your take on FICOR? Well, FICOR is a little bit controversial. Uh, it's being in the union without being in the union. You are paying your dues. Uh, if you qualify, you're getting your medical and so forth. But it allows you to take non-union jobs, still maintain protections with the union for your union jobs, uh, but you're still paying dues. But you lose your voting rights. A lot of people do FICOR. I'd like to see us get to a place where people don't need to do FICOR. I'm a native Floridian. You're right. You're right. You're right. Oh, see, grammar. Your no your you apostrophe re. You're right. They do not care about employees. And this isn't a political show, um, but just going to get a little political. We've been looking at prices going up for 50 years of everything. Salaries have not. We're still looking in most states $7 and change, 750, maybe 775. I don't know. I haven't worked for minimum wage in a long time, but the prices on everything have gone up. Part of the homeless problem is everything costs so much. Not only does that mean getting a place, paying rent, but the psychological damage that it can have working so hard, so many jobs. That's why a lot of people haven't gone back to work yet. I'm not going back into that. I'm not going to work 3 or 4 jobs like I was and still not make enough money. I'm going to leave it there, but it's on us as American citizens to support one another and wages, and make sure that we don't have one party that's working for big business to send our jobs to China and other places, and then not pay us fair wages. They've had 1,000% raise over the last 50 years, the CEOs, the 1%. The rest of us have not. And I say that in the full understanding that I live well. But still. Yeah, better. Oh, yeah, better. 825. Yeah. There have been studies done. Minimum wage, actually, to keep up with inflation, should be somewhere in the neighborhood of 20, 25 bucks an hour. And there's always, oh yeah, this guy's flipping burgers. He shouldn't make that much, but a person should make enough to live. Anyway, on a lighter note, thank you, Todd. Do you ever do any VO things just for yourself, not as a part of a job? If so, what kinds of things? That's a good question. I don't do that many things for myself, just my own little fun projects. I do have some projects going. Um, been writing some things, a cartoon series that I'm trying to get off the ground. But what I do, voiceover wise, is sometimes somebody comes to me with some charity work of some kind, some good cause of some kind, that I can lend my voice for nothing. I truly believe that we should get paid for most of our work, but then there's things that we should just do for the betterment of society, for our community. And so those things I make myself available for. Other than that, playing tennis, playing backgammon, watching some good television, not the housewives of wherever, but there's some good sci-fi on right now. TV is the best it's ever been, at the same time that it's the worst it's ever been. And that is just kind of crazy. Oh, one other little note, I jotted it down. When I was in Cleveland, was in the hotel, got up, I was getting myself together, and lo and behold, I heard a commercial I did that I didn't think I'd ever hear playing on the television there. So it's a thing for Cashman Casino. Oh, Cashman Casino, because I had to redo the audition because I said Cashman, and no, it's Cashman Casino. And it was like, oh, wow, that's me. Okay, yeah, they're playing that thing here. Driving along, also heard a Lexus commercial. I do the ethnic Lexus stuff, and it's like, hey, there I am, woohoo! So it's always nice, still exciting when you're out and about someplace and you hear your voice. Well, anyway, we're just about to the top of the hour. Thank you for indulging me today and stopping by, and I hope I was able to answer some questions that you had. I want to thank Theo. I told him, well, let's see, I sent him his demo last night. I'd sent him the individual clips because what I do, I don't let my production house put the demo together. They put the clips together, but then I do that. But I had sent him the clips last week. Couldn't get to doing the demo until yesterday. Got it done, sent it to him, and he said, "Oh man, I love it, great." And I said, "Well, hey, why don't I bring you on? You tell a little bit about the process and how you felt about it and so forth." So thank you, Theo, for stopping by. This and all the other Ask Dave Fennoy's Anything will live on my YouTube channel, Dave Fennoy Voiceover Training. If you're interested in private coaching, davefennoy.com, click on the Study VO tab at the top. And in the meantime, and in between time, wait a minute. Got one more here. This looks long, so I'm going to do it. In Denmark, working at McDonald's, the starting pay is $22.50 an hour. Thank you. I'm glad it is. In Georgia, my niece paid $8.75 for the same work. Yes, right to work is a right for businesses to pay workers less and to fire them without reason if they balk at their exploitation. You actually said it better than I did. Thank you very much, Bernard Tanner. I'll leave you with that little bit of reality, political thought if you must. And remember, book something. Book it. Book it.